All right. Okay. Shh. Quiet on the set. Okay. Let me get the volume cranked here for a second too. Here we go. Why is this quality just like absolute shit? Okay, that's not too bad. It sounds like Outbreak. Zombies look from RE2, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I still want to talk over it. Whoa. Oh shit. X, baby. Is that all we got? Is that all we got? I'm thinking it may be a 4v1 based on that. I think it's going to be a 4v1. I think there's going to be a player that's in control of Mr. X. I get a very good, like, I'm getting a very strong feeling that that's the case. I think this is still like super early in development though, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think this is like a I don't think this is necessarily going to be something that's like a quick turnaround. To me it looks like, oh yeah, it's definitely a co-op game. But yeah, like let's watch it again. I'm gonna pause it during this time and I'm gonna just talk about some things. All right, let's watch it again. Come on, hit the play. There we go. The quality's a little bit low through Twitter, but them teens just wandering into Umbrella HQ. Yeah, it's true. Team-based survival, yeah. That, oh, right there. That dude. Do it again. I don't know why the player is so slow. I have to like back out just to get it to play. It's probably because so many people are trying to watch it at the same time. Download the video. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. Okay. How do I do that? How do I do it? How do I download it? Facebook link? Okay, let me look at that. Play the Facebook video. It's faster. Okay. Okay. Outbreak inspired. See, my first thought, Baby Mage, my thought is actually that it might actually be Wesker because of the jacket that he's wearing. Let's go back. We only get 90 seconds to work with here, guys. We have to. That definitely, I'm definitely getting Wesker vibes from this dude. But he's a shadowy figure, of course. You can't really see. It looked like he had a jacket on that was very reminiscent of Wesker. And he's got like the leather gloves on too. Figure of him looks very similar to Wesker. Yeah. Keep in mind though that if they're in an Umbrella facility, by this point in time, Wesker's no longer employed with Umbrella, so he wouldn't have access to all this stuff. That's the only thing that I'm thinking about that might be a little weird. Like, if this is an Umbrella facility, it can't be Wesker, because Wesker is terminated from Umbrella immediately following the events of RE1. So, but who knows? That is fucking Callahan, you guys. Look at this. It looks almost exact. He might be a little bit more decayed. He might be a little bit more decayed than Callahan, but that's fucking Callahan, you guys. Look at that shit. I think he's a little bit more decayed, but it definitely looks like Callahan. That was my first impression. Turns out these guys are future USS agents. New Outbreak. It definitely looks to be that way. Wait. Hang on a second. Go back. Go back for a second. I want to see if I can... He puts these gloves on. See, I don't think that's Wesker. This dude clearly does not have blonde hair. Yeah, her aim was trash. I was going to make a comment about that too. Look at this. Even, I mean, it's lit enough that you can see that he does not have blonde hair. Or, yeah, he does not have blonde hair. It's definitely not Wesker. But he's got this, like... He has these, like, metallic things on. Like, these cybernetic hands. But I don't think... I know exactly what this is. I know exactly what this is. Yeah, he's controlling Mr. X. And I bet you, because of how it's like a shadowy figure... I bet you this is an allusion to the fact that it's you in that photo. Like, and it's almost like it raises the hair on my skin thinking about it. But that is you. That's what they're gonna say. I promise you, that's exactly what they're gonna say at Tokyo Game Show this week. They're gonna say, yeah, the whole purpose behind this is that is actually you. And you're in, yep, it's the 5th player. Yeah, it's going to be 4v1, for sure. For sure. But I wanted to look at what was on these monitors real quick. I think that it's going to be a 4v1, yeah. It's going to be a Dead by Daylight compete. I wanted to see if there was anything else important on these monitors. It looks like it's just like some security cameras, and then it had, like, mugshots of all of the survivors. So not buying it then, if that's it. I mean, but what I'm thinking is that it's going to be, for the survivors, it's definitely going to be, like, more of an Outbreak kind of experience. I think they're adding the 1 because I think the idea of being able to play the Tyrant is a really, like, interesting idea for a lot of people. Highly objective based, possibly. I think that there's going to be scenarios. All I think it is, and again, without seeing gameplay footage, I'm actually very optimistic about this, because what I think it's going to be is it's going to be, for people playing Survivor, it's very much going to feel like Outbreak. That's what the vibe that I'm getting is. But they're adding the 5th player to give you a different way of playing if that's not for you. So you're going to be able to control the Tyrant, and as well as, like, I'm sure that you'll also have the ability to, like, you may even be able to get some degree of control over, like, when the zombies come out. So earlier in the trailer, he's, like, flipping switches. Watch this. See how he hits the switch here? If you're the 5th player, you're going to have control over this stuff. That's what I'm saying, is that so it's going to feel like Outbreak for everybody playing Survivor. The 5th person is going to control all of the events that happen in the game. So you'll have the option to lock doors and force them into an encounter. it's going to be, I actually think this is going to be very cool, because with Outbreak, there are some RNG things that happen in Outbreak, but it's controlled by, like, they usually have a game director, but it's like an AI. You're going to have a player under the controls of that from now on, which I think is cool, because DBD, whether you guys like DBD or not, DBD has a very interesting, the fact that there is a killer that is, you know, basically creating that, like, PvP environment. Like, imagine it like this. You could absolutely have an AI killer, like, hypothetically. Obviously, that's not supported by DBD. What if they were to add an AI controller if you didn't want to do 4v1 and you just wanted to play Survivor, you didn't want to have to worry about somebody fucking you over too many times? Imagine if they gave you the choice to do both. That would be cool. Because then the people that don't want to have somebody at the hands of, like, controlling what happens event-wise in the game, they can just let the AI do it, and then there will be a little bit less RNG involved. But the people that want to play competitively, they can do these scenarios. And it's not going to be DBD where you're running around and trying to fucking fix generators. This is going to be where you're actually progressing through a scenario. It's actually going to be a scenario that you go through. So it's not really going to be like DBD, because DBD doesn't have scenarios. That's exactly what this is going to be. Hey, what's up, Frank? In Zero Gear, you need to find it. Yeah, exactly. You're going to be scavenging for those supplies. Is there a trailer? Yeah, this is the trailer. We'll watch it from start to finish so Frank can see it. The zombies look so much better. Yeah, I mean, they may have enhanced it a bit for the sake of the trailer, but keep in mind that, I mean, RE2 was in development several years ago, so they've probably come a long way as far as making it better. And they've probably taken quite a bit of feedback, I would imagine, from RE2 Remake as well. Yeah, her aim is really shit. Her aim is really shit.
Oh my god, that's fucking Keanu
Hey,
Reeves.
Buck.
What the
Thank you for the host, dude. How's it going, man? What did you think of the trailer? Reminds me of the Survivor game. See, this part was a little weird. This looks like Discount Tyrant. Look at this. This was the one part that I thought was a little weird. Look at that. That's super Discount Mr. X. Look at that. It doesn't, his face, you can see it in the face. This Tyrant looks like Wesker. You boys on stilts. But yeah, like, it definitely looks like just the stance that he's taken is a little weird. He went on a diet, maybe. The face just looks a little weird. It looks legit when he like right here, it looks like Tyrant from RE2 Remake. But when he's like standing like that, he looks more like freaking Freddy Krueger than he looks like the Tyrant, man. That's just my synopsis of it anyway. Omega Lul. More details at the Tokyo Game Show. All of the Tokyo Game Shows. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to minimize that. But what are your guys' thoughts? I mean, I know I've seen Ernie's. I know Ernie hates it. So if it's PvP, this game looks a lot like Zombie Master 4v1, an RTS mode that controls the hazards of the lab and tries to kill the players. The Tyrant is probably a mode letting the antagonist player directly attack the players. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
It's Snake.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like,
you're pretty good.
the part of the trailer where he puts the gloves on, This is it's 100% going to be 4v1 at this point. The part where he puts the gloves on, which is right here. He gets out of the chair and puts the gloves on. This part right here. Dead giveaway that it's 4v1. I mean, you can also tell by the fact that he's like hitting the switches and stuff like that too. It's very, very obvious that this is a 4v1. But it would be interesting if they allowed the option for the game director to be an AI. That way, like, for people that are playing Survivor, like, from a Survivor standpoint, from what we saw in, like, the combat section, it definitely seems to be like Outbreak for sure. I mean, it's going to play different than Outbreak, of course, because if I had to guess, it's going to be a third person over the shoulder, exactly like RE2 Remake. The fact that there's going to be melee weapons and stuff, though, the one dude had a steel baseball bat. It would be stupid not to make an antagonist AI for game longevity. Well, not necessarily, because if you do look at Dead by Daylight, you have a ranking structure that is completely separate for Survivor and for Killer. So not necessarily. People, if it's gonna be a competitive type game where the idea is that there's gonna be a rank structure to it, then not necessarily, because people would grind to get higher ranking as the game director. But competitively, like, it could be already competitive. This is silly. Don't knock it till you try it, man. There's going to be gameplay that's going to be coming out over the next couple weeks, too. So you'll be able to have a better assessment on it based on that. Crafting might be a thing. Yeah, that was what I was getting into, Baby Mage, because so our knockoff David lookalike here has a shotgun. He's got a steel bat. We're about to see him just wall up this dude. Check this out. Watch. Just watch it happen. Just watch it happen. Oh! 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 Get him, dude. But yeah, so that dude had a steel bat. She's got a nail base. Like, this actually looks more like just a stick with nails in it. So I bet you crafting will be a thing. I'd be very, like, confident in the fact that you'll be able to craft stuff. So it's definitely going to be taking inspiration from Outbreak. It's going to feel like Outbreak. It's going to feel like Dead by Daylight, but not in the sense like, is that Yoko? It definitely looks to be like discount Yoko. Here's my guess. You ready? I'm going to put all 4 survivors. You ready? This is if I had to guess. Okay. We've got at least where they draw. I'm not saying that these are the characters, but I'm saying that, like, they probably drew inspiration from these characters. Discount David. Discount Yoko. Discount Jim. Even though Jim is, I think, he dyes his hair blonde in Outbreak, but it could be Jim, you know? And maybe Alyssa over here. Just discount characters, you know what I mean? Like, not the actual characters, like, they may just retcon. No, they're not going to retcon those characters, but they may have. But where's Kevin? You may have more. Like, keep in mind that in the original Outbreak, there were how many characters? 9? Was it 9 characters? But you could only play 4 at a time. So it's they're giving you context in one scenario, but there's probably more characters. Also, look at Dead by Daylight. There's way more than 4 characters. You just pick which ones you want to be. I'm still hoping for an Outbreak just with extra Left 4 Dead DVD modes added. Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be very much like Outbreak. If you're playing Survivor, it's going to feel like Outbreak from what this looks like. It's not going to be like, you know, the same, like, it's going to be third person over the shoulder. It's going to be. It's going to be set up exactly like RE2 Remake in terms of you're going to have a real-time menu system instead of it pausing the game. The menuing system is going to be real-time, and the gameplay as far as, like, going through a scenario, it's not going to be like Dead by Daylight in the sense of, like, you're going to have a circular map and you're going to have to go fix generators. Like, you're going to progress through a level like you do in Outbreak. For Survivor, it's going to feel like Outbreak. Different camera angle, but it's going to feel like Outbreak. But they're going to give you the option that if you want to play the game director, you can. And I think that's going to be sweet. I hope there's a variety of arenas. Oh, I would imagine there's probably going to be scenarios. There's probably going to be 4 or 5 scenarios, just like there is in Outbreak. If you look at this specific screen, it looks like a B tier horror movie. Well, what I would like to see is, like, again, this is probably just making context of like one scenario. So in this case, it's probably like discount below freezing point, you know what I mean? Like where they're in an umbrella lab, but there may be a school one, there may be, we might, like, it's hard to say at this point if this is actually going to be Outbreak or not. Like, I don't know if they're going to call it Resident Evil Outbreak because they haven't actually given it a title yet. But
it's Snake.
If I had to guess,
Hazeblade.
Thank you guys for all the follows, by the way. I appreciate it.
You're pretty good.
If I had to guess, definitely going to be more polished. They haven't even have a, yeah. This is a teaser. They don't have a name for the game yet. They don't have a release date.
It's
they don't
Snake.
have. They have nothing. They have a
Hazeblade.
The teaser trailer.
You're pretty good.
It's all a teaser trailer. So if I had to guess, they're probably watching people's reactions to this. There's going to be people uploading YouTube videos. There's going to be people live on Twitch, right? They're probably watching these and getting feedback before they... This game is early in development, is what I can tell you. Like, we're not going to get a January release date on this from if I had to guess. We're not going to get a January release date. It's probably going to be a this time next year type thing. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I actually think it looks cool. You don't think we'll get it next year? I think it's possible we'll get it next year, but not January situation. It's probably a September or October release next year, if I had to guess. If I had to, and I would say at the latest, probably like a January or February 2021. But looking at this, I would say they definitely have a good start. Like, I mean, they've definitely got a very good amount of work put in. I mean, the nice thing about RE Engine is that they can put this stuff together pretty quickly with RE Engine, because all of the characters and enemies, they're all scanned in. They hook you up to a bunch of like sensors, and they just scan you in. They don't have to manually do this stuff anymore. So that getting characters into a game it used to be one of the hardest things to do in making a game. It is now, I would say it's one of the most expensive things to do, but it's actually one of the easiest things to do now. It's actually harder to model an entire environment than it is to do a character. To get a character modeled and textured and to have it look like before scanning people in was a thing, it used to take months to get a character like fully refined into it. Keep in mind, you're going to spend more time looking, unless it's a first person game, of course. You're going to spend more time looking at that character than you are anything else in the game. And so they spend weeks, if not months, refining the look of that character. But nowadays, you can literally just scan them in. It's pretty straight up. They could do third person. Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be third person. It's gonna, if I had to guess, it's gonna play exactly like RE2 Remake. If you're playing Survivor, it's gonna play exactly like RE2 Remake. If you're controlling Mr. X, it wouldn't surprise me if it'll be first person. If you control Mr. X, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I think first person for whoever's playing Killer is more fair, because you have a much more limited field of view to work with. So I'm hoping levels are randomized, add a little bit more suspense. I think that there's a lot of possibilities for sure. What they could do is they could add a slight bit of randomization to like where item drops are and stuff. But keep in mind that, like I said, my theory here is that you're going to be progressing through a level. It's not going to be like this combat arena here is not going to be the only level in the game or the only room in the game. You're going to go through, you're going to start at the entrance of the lab. You're going to work your way into the deepest, darkest parts of the lab. You're going to encounter some shit, right? That's exactly how this is going to work based on what we see here. You're going to progress through a scenario. There's probably going to be lore. There's going to be documents and files and shit. It's going to play, if you're playing Survivor, it's going to feel like you're playing RE2 Remake multiplayer. No, it's not. Well, yeah, it kind of is going to be like Fable Legends as RE, but Fable Legends though it's a little bit different because that was definitely more RTS. This is still going to be a third-person shooter for survivors, I think. Who asked for this? Everybody that wanted an Outbreak remake, which is a lot of people. Always need to clean up facial cap, but it's so far faster than doing it manually. Exactly. Yeah, no, it's one of the easiest parts of the process. Because all you're doing is fine-tuning it after it gets scanned in. I bet nobody asked for PvP. Keep in mind, though, Ernie, that in order to sell units of this game, this is the same issue with RE2 Remake that a lot of people had. Except you can't make it petty. You can't make it petty. Like you have to look at it from the idea that this is a business, and if they had to cater to literally everybody's needs, they would never get it. They would never finish a game. The reason that this is 4v1, and this is literally the only reason that it's 4v1, is because it's going to sell units. That's literally what you have to look at. You have to understand that this is a business, and Dead by Daylight is making a fuckload of money. But Resident Evil has way more brand recognition than DBD does. Way, way more. More people know what Resident Evil is than know what Dead by Daylight is. And Dead by Daylight, don't get me wrong, is extremely popular. But RE still has more brand. It's still a bigger brand. And it is a Dead by Daylight compete. But what they're going to do with this is going to blow Dead by Daylight out of the water. 100%. The one thing that pisses me off about Dead by Daylight,
It's Snake.
is that there's
Thank
no...
you for following Hazeblade.
The one thing that sucks about Dead by Daylight is that there is
You're pretty
no
good.
weapons. You can use a flashlight, but you just don't
It's
have the
Snake.
same extent
Thank you for following Hazeblade.
of playability
You're pretty good.
for college students beating zombies. That's pretty much what Outbreak was, so... Thank you guys
It's
for all the
Snake.
follows, by the way. I appreciate
Thank
it. There's a
you
lot
for
of you.
following Hazeblade.
Let me read some of the follows real quick. We did
You're
get a lot
pretty
of follows.
good.
Let's see. Papa Bear, CJS, Nitzrail, Stuntman Snake,
Stuntman Snake.
Phil the Bard, and Silversun. Thank you guys for the follows. Appreciate it. This is, like I said, if you're playing Survivor, with the exception of maybe the camera angle, it's going to feel like Outbreak. And it's very clear based on what we see in this trailer that it's going to feel like Outbreak. You're going to craft weapons. You're going to navigate through a scenario. I mean, maybe with the exception of the camera angle, when you're playing as Survivor, there's not really going to be much of a difference. I mean, yeah, there's going to be new graphics, probably new
It's
scenarios,
Snake.
things like that.
Thank you for following Hazeblade.
Lucky Gamer, thank you for the follow. I
You're
just hope
pretty
that they have
good.
the option to just play Survivors and no person controlling stuff. Well, you can't sit there and get upset and frustrated and worried about it until you actually see gameplay. So there's gonna be a lot more information coming about this in the next week. So just keep your mind open. Be optimistic. You can be cautiously optimistic about it.
Snake.
Like
Thank you for
I think most of us were before we
Hazeblade.
even saw this trailer.
You're pretty good.
Project Resistance will be an esports game. There's a very high likelihood of that. There is a very high likelihood of that. But what I'm thinking is, like I said, here's why this would completely destroy Dead by Daylight. People that play these types of games want guns. Like, seriously. I mean, if you look at the mainstream audience, like, even if you liked Outbreak, here's the thing. A lot of people actually didn't like Outbreak, but the problem is most people didn't play Outbreak Online. And Outbreak Online is where it's at, okay? If you're not playing Outbreak Online, you're doing it wrong. And the actual experience of Outbreak was playing it online with friends. 100%. 100% was the best experience. Oh, yeah. You had to get, like, a bunch of stuff that was exclusive to the PlayStation 2 to get the modem and the adapter to hook it up. Like, it was a pain in the ass. But it made Outbreak way more fun. I bet the maps are going to be super linear. I don't know. It's without seeing more content, though, Virtual, it's hard to say that. You know, more than guns. Friends who have the same taste in games as me. Feels bad, man. So here's my thing on it though. This is like when you look at what's going to make this better than DBD, it's going to be 4-player survival. Look at Pessimism, for example. Pessimism loves Dead by Daylight. He's probably going to eat the shit out of this game because it's going to offer the same like idea as Dead by Daylight, but you're going to do it in the Resident Evil universe, which I think is going to be a lot more appealing for people.
You're pretty good.
Phlegmatic, thank you for the follow. Hey, Soap, have a good one, dude. It will work like Warframe using well-built tiles that are put together to make a variation of path per match. I don't know that they're necessarily going to make it like procedural, because I think that idea was abused over the last couple years, and like it was a big trend from like 2015 to 2018. Everything was procedurally generated. Oh, it's gonna be random. It's gonna be so cool. I think that you could do something like that with maybe itemization, but not with the actual scenario itself. I didn't like DBD much because you're just running around hoping the killer doesn't tunnel you. That's why this is going to sell and make more money than DBD. Is because it's going to be the same premise, but it's not going to play like that. It's going to feel and play like kind of a combination of Outbreak and RE2 Remake. If I had to guess, when we get gameplay, this is going to probably confirm my suspicions, but it's going to be like set up like DBD, where you spawn. You might even spawn in different locations, and you have to find each other. Like it's without seeing the gameplay though, and without getting like, they're going to do a press conference, I'm sure, and they're going to talk about it. Those students, what are they going to do with Mr. X? Because it comes out in the video. But what's Claire going to do with Mr. X in RE2 Remake? What's Leon going to do with Mr. X? They've never encountered anything like that before. So the whole situation in and of itself is ridiculous, regardless of what games you look at. You can choose to be pessimistic about it, but at the end of the day, you haven't even seen actual gameplay yet, so it's hard to say. Leon, just knife him. Yeah, crank that FPS, dude. Can't wait to see what they show at Tokyo Game Show. Yeah, I mean, like, you can look at the trailer. I mean, because here's the, like, I definitely have some things that I thought were weird about the trailer. Like, I think that this shot right here is a little weird. I think this part is a little weird right here. Because that doesn't really look like that much like Mr. X, and like in the upper torso region. Like, that's not really a behavior that he like would do. You know what I mean? Like, he would definitely like turn over and stand, but like, This just, I don't know, it looks a little janky. But like I said, this is also a teaser trailer. The game is relatively early in development. Like, it's really hard to say. Looks like you can fight back, which already gives it more replay value than DBD. Exactly. The only offense you have in DBD is a flashlight, and that doesn't even work all the time. This is going to sell and make way more money than DBD. If you didn't like DBD, this game is most likely, and like I said, without looking at everything and without seeing gameplay, this is pure speculation, but my speculation is that the reason that this is going to sell more units than Dead by Daylight is because as a survivor, you will be way more involved in what's happening in the scenario than you ever will in DBD, hands down. 100%. And whether they choose to make this a competitive multiplayer game or not, that element in and of itself is going to sell units. 100%. I'm going to buy it just because I'm that much of an RE fan and I support Capcom and what they do. But even if I don't like the game, I'm still going to buy it and try it out. Like, that would be pointless to just not. Or if Capcom is nice and they decide to, give me a copy. Just got here. What if this game is just like Raccoon City? So bad. Well, first and foremost, it's being developed by Capcom. So that in and of itself is going to be much less of a problem. They have the RE engine at their fingertips too. So I think whatever happens, they're graphically speaking, I would say that is not really going to be so much of an issue. Which, I mean, really graphically speaking, Operation Raccoon City wasn't that bad. except for when it came to all of the characters that we wanted in the game, like Claire, Leon, and Jill. They looked like garbage, but everything else looked good. It wasn't terrible graphically though. Like honestly, yeah, it wasn't that bad. I liked Operation Raccoon City because in co-op it was a blast. Yeah, I mean, I think that like co-op's not bad in Raccoon City, but yeah, playing it single player is a lot like playing Outbreak single player. It's not that great. But yeah, this part right here I thought was a little janky, but I wanted to take like not necessarily frame by frame, but he's all right, we're gonna give the play-by-play real quick. All right, not frame by frame, we're gonna go. He's going into his office. This is this guy's office. He probably gets paid like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year, right, to come into this office and fuck with people. Check it out. So it looks like he actually starts a countdown. You see that? It's actually counting down from 5 minutes. So I wonder what that timer is. Looks like he activates Tyrant. Maybe it's like 5 minutes until Tyrant wakes up or something like that. Maybe that could be. But yeah, he starts a timer right there. He hits that button or whatever. Yeah, see, it's counting down. It says Junction, launch countdown, processing, displaying mission time. And it looks like he had to connect. It looks like he had to connect to the internet first. Look, it says local area connection 1 or local area connection 2. He had to connect to the internet first. I wonder if he has Time Warner or AT&T. I wonder what ISP Capcom is using, or I wonder what ISP Umbrella uses. And it says release all. I thought it said machine connections, but I don't think that says machine. Matching connections. Let me see. Let me go back and see if there's a better spot of it in focus. Yeah, I think it says matching. Release all matching connections. I wanted to see if there's any like indications of stuff up here. Laboratory. So they're clearly in a lab. And then he's gonna turn the lights out. Boom! I'm assuming this is just gonna say laboratory camera 3. Nope, corridor camera 1. Cool. Counting timer is called mission time. Yeah. I love that he pumps the shouty. Oh yeah, dude. I wanted to see if there was anything else. So is this a police officer? See, this is why I was getting like the This Is Callahan vibes, because it looked like it was an RPD police officer, but maybe not. Because the RPD officers have the shield right here. What are the names on the switches? Oh, no, I didn't even see the switch. Let me see. It says weapons. It says weapons right here, but I can't read the other two. Oh, yeah. That one says door. This one says weapons. I can't read what this one says. I don't know what this one says. Chat is in the way. Oh, yeah, sorry. Here, let me turn chat off real quick. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll get... Okay. There we go. Yeah, I can't see what this says, though. It's so, like, angled that it's hard to... I would guess Valve. That's what I thought, too. I kind of read Valve. The third one says cocaine. Yeah, I thought it might have said Valve, too. I think Valve is the most sensible. It says Epic Game Store. Please, God, no. Tell you what, look at these zombies, though. These zombies are actually really well done. Look at this. Oh, I wonder if we can read what his patch says. No, I don't think you can read. Might be a bomb, because a bomb did get armed. Maybe. But there's definitely an E in that last letter. Tell you what, though, look at these zombies. These zombies are definitely a big upgrade from RE2 Remake. They're a lot more grotesque. I was initially thinking that this was an RPD officer, but I don't think it is. I think it's just a worker. I was like, and I'm also like, why would there be a police officer zombie in the lab? That would make no sense. So I think this is just a worker. Look at this dude. Dude, it looks like Lawrence. It looks like Lawrence Fishburne, dude. It looks like Morpheus got turned into a zombie. Why is he using a mixing desk? Dude, I have no idea. I have no idea, man. This dude's got like flabs of skin coming off of his face. This is clearly Misty. This is clearly the RPD zombie with the red shirt on. Discount David. Dude, all right, let's watch this dude beat the shit out of zombies with a bat again. Watch it. Watch it. Oh! Oh! You can, yeah, he does. He puts like something in the keys, or he types something in. Oh! It's like right here, yeah. Look at those nice leather gloves, dude. Sending everything he's got, yeah. Yep, it says liquor. Look at that keyboard, man. He needs to switch to a mechanical keyboard, dog. All compartments. Yeah, it says release all matching connections. It's a lot more clear on this screen. Launch liquor processing. Ever tried to type in leather gloves? I have not, actually. Is this like Left 4 Dead or Metal Gear Survive? No, it's definitely not going to be like Metal Gear Survive. It's going to be kind of like Left 4 Dead, but not really. It's going to be like from a shooter perspective, it's going to be like Left 4 Dead, but I think it's going to be third person. You're going to have, it's going to be 4v1, so you're going to have somebody controlling, like the person, the way that they've set this up is that because it's like a shadowy figure and all that stuff, it's very much going to be, they're playing it off like this is you in the command seat. Launching liquor.exe, exactly. She's just wasting ammo, dude. Just wasting ammo. Terrible shot. I'll tell you what, she's shooting really fast. I hope we can shoot that fast in this game. Did you see that liquor crab walking? No, no, I didn't see it. Go back. I think it'd be sweet to actually play the tyrant though. Oh, he's so mad, dude. Can it be tyrant? Has it control in R2 as well? Because he had a device in his head, I noticed, like a chip. I don't know, because I didn't see it on this guy. Like, you can't see it on this particular one. He doesn't have it. But then again, it is kind of dark. But the other one, even when it was dark, you could still kind of see it, like, sticking out over here. But this is a different tyrant. This is definitely going to be a different Mr. X. There's multiple Mr. X's. They were mass produced, so this, like, it's gonna be another Mr. X, but this is a different Mr. X than the one that's in RE2. The freaking red glowing eyes, though, that's fucking badass, dude. They're gonna face Mr. X with a stick. Very good. Hey, they still got a shotgun. Dude, look at this guy's suit, though. Can we take a second to just admire this guy's suit? Look at this shit. Dude, he dresses like a fly, motherfucker, dude. I don't understand the need for fog to come out on the gloves, though. I don't understand that. Nah, it's not Wesker. Wesker is already terminated by Umbrella by this point. But yeah, he like clutches his fists, and then this dude clutches his fists, and it's like, fuck yeah, dude. And then he lifts up his head, and it just goes, boom! Yeah. Wesker, yeah, Wesker's blonde. Yeah, it's not Wesker. It's actually you. That's what they're gonna say. I'm telling you right now, that's what they're gonna say. I want fog to come out of my fridge when I open it. That would actually be pretty cool. No, I bet you when they do the presentation at Tokyo Game Show this week, they're going to say that, like, because people are probably going to be asking all over social media, who is the shadowy figure, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to be like, oh, that's you. You've been employed by Umbrella. Dude, it's going to be, imagine that though. Like if you want to play the director, like you're going to be able to like just imagine that setup when they're like, oh, it's you. And then people are going to be like, oh shit. And then they're going to set up the scenario like you are an Umbrella employee right now. And your job is to protect Umbrella's assets, whatever the cost. Dude. Oh, that would be so sick. It would be so sick. Bet you control the lab, open and turning on traps and monsters. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's kind of like the... I think that's going to be the premise, for sure. I'm 9 to 5 killing kids. But here's my thoughts on it, you guys. Just from a top-down level. I've given you a lot of thoughts, obviously. I actually think the trailer's cool. I think visually it looks great. I'm gonna mute the volume and we'll just kind of watch it while I'm talking. Can I put it on repeat? I don't think I can. No, I can't. Okay. But from just a pure, like, visually, aesthetically pleasing thing. It looks really, really good. Visually, it looks amazing. I think in terms of, like, just look at these zombies, though. I mean, they look insane. Like, if we, like, dude, the RE2 remake zombies were insane, but this is like it's a whole nother level of, like, just visual, like, it just looks sweet. You know, I can't really say much about that. Like, it just looks so, like, even the lickers, dude. We're talking about the same lickers that are in RE2 remake look even better in this. I mean, it's absolutely wild. Aside from the fact that she can't shoot to save her life, it's totally different. It is a pre-rendered trailer. True, but it's still being pre-rendered with the RE engine, so it's going to still be a close representation of what it's going to look like in game. Like, there's going to be cutscenes, I'm sure. Like, yeah, there's definitely going to be a little bit of, like, because this is a pre-rendered trailer, yeah, it's definitely going to not look as good, but it's still going to be really close. What if it's boring from the director's point of view, like tower defense? I don't know that it's going to... If I had to guess, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to look through, like... I guess we'll talk about the director's side first. I would imagine that to some degree you're going to be able to look through the eyes of the enemies that you control. Like, if you spawn a horde of zombies, which it's not to say that you're actually spawning the zombies in. There's probably, like, you know at the beginning of the B scenario of RE2 Remake, how there's all those zombies just laying on the floor? You probably have the option to activate those zombies at any point in time during that scenario when the characters are in that region. So if I had to get old style fixed camera angles for the director, maybe you may be looking at it through like a security camera though. So like the fixed camera angles would actually be a security camera that maybe you can control and like look around. But you may also have the idea to look through the eyes of the enemies that you control. So like if you spawn a horde of zombies, you might be able to see from the point of view of that zombie that you're controlling to see what's going on. And then also, I would assume when you're controlling Mr. X, you're also probably it'll almost 100% be a first person view when you're controlling Mr. X. If I had to guess, it's like gonna be like that 100%. But yeah, you would definitely be very hands-on. So I think the role of playing the game director is definitely going to be that you have a lot of controls at your disposal. You'll probably get a sense of what's going on in the environment, either through the enemies that are there, as well as through like let's say you have no enemies active right now, or like you're not activating any events. VR for the director, dude, that would be pretty badass. But probably not. But yeah, I would imagine that to some extent you'll probably be sitting like looking at different security cameras, and then based on things that are happening there, you'll be able to control certain events. So like I said, kind of like in the B scenarios, how there's all those zombies just laying there, you'll probably have something like that where you can activate it at any time, but you may want to save it until they're like, you can tell they're running out of ammo and they're low on health and stuff like that. Tyrant at least is going to be directly controls. Otherwise, the gloves, that showcase wouldn't make sense. VR could make sense too. It could, but I don't know. I doubt that they would make exclusively like a VR, because keep in mind, whenever you do something like that in VR, it could be very VR optional. It could be. I'm not going to say that that's not a thing. It definitely could be. It definitely could be. New Ari game? Yeah, we just watched the trailer like 8 times. We'll watch it one more time before I end stream, but yeah, they couldn't make it VR exclusive. Yeah, they wouldn't make any money if they did that, but they could do VR optional though. I could see that as a thing, and I think it'd be cool. And I have a VR headset, so dude, I'd eat the shit out of that. I'd play director all the time. Let's see, is it going to be first person shooter? So we don't have gameplay yet, but I'm going to assume that when you're controlling Tyrant, it's going to be first person. When you're playing Survivor, I would put all my money on that it's going to be like RE2 Remake. It's going to be third person, over the shoulder. I think the menuing and stuff like that, instead of it when you menu in RE2 Remake, it pauses, like it doesn't stop your IGT from accruing, but it does pause the game, so like zombies won't attack you while you're in the menu. With this one, it's going to be real-time menuing if you're playing online. It's going to have to be, obviously. Otherwise, you're going to have to pause the game every time you do anything with your inventory. But yeah, it's definitely going to be real-time menuing. Why didn't it reveal the game's real name? It's because it's early in development, so they probably don't have all of that worked out yet. This game is not coming out this year. It's not. If it comes out next year, I don't think we're getting a January release date. I think we're getting probably a this time next year, like September, October release date when we get one. If not January or February 2021. Will it be possible to speedrun? Maybe. If they allow for single player, then yes. And if they allow for multiplayer with AI, with the AI director, then yes. It will absolutely be possible to speedrun. Sounds like a new Outbreak. It's definitely going to be reminiscent of Outbreak, from like you can very clearly tell. I mean, there's makeshift weapons featured in the trailer. There's the for survivor mindset. I mean, there's definitely Outbreak inspiration in this game, 100%. Yeah, the real-time menuing was good. So I mean, I think putting yourself in the shoes of the director, I think you're going to get perspective from either security cameras or the enemies that you can control, one or the other, and then you'll kind of get a fixed camera angle thing through the security cameras because they're going to be mounted on the wall, of course. So I think that's going to be gameplay from a director standpoint. Yeah, it's definitely 4v1, Doctor. It 100% is 4v1. There's no doubt about it based on this trailer. But yeah, I think you're going to get that vibe playing the director. So you'll be in control of events. You'll be able to screw over survivors from time to time. You'll basically plan around them not having, like, keep in mind that for those of you, no, it's definitely not Wesker. It's you. That's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say that it's you because you're in control if you're playing on that side. It's not Wesker. But if you look at that mindset, though, like they're going to make it fair. It's not just going to be a non-stop just screw over survivors constantly. You're probably going to have cooldowns on when you can trigger events. You're probably going to have a limited number of uses associated with that too. Like it's going to be balanced in a way that, like, if you spawn in a fuckload of liquors, you're going to have to wait like 5 minutes to spawn them again. That also could be what that mission countdown was. Like it might have something to do with that. Like if you spawn tons of enemies in, you're going to have to wait to do that again. So it's very possible that that's what that's like. So that's my take on what playing the director is going to be like. I wonder if like DBD you'll choose between different Umbrella champs, Tyrant, Mr. X, or Ouroboros. I don't know. It's a good question. I think you're going to have a lot of enemies at your disposal, but I don't know that it would be like. I think Tyrant's going to be. It's going to be like Left 4 Dead, where you pretty much get the tank and that's it. But you'll have lickers. It'd be really cool if they added hunters back in. If you had lickers and hunters and, you know, of course, zombies and, you know, just other things. Yeah, I think Tyrant is going to be something that you probably get to use once per scenario. If I had to guess, it's going to be a one and done. And when they take him out, it's over. So maybe depending on how well you do in the round will determine what final stage BOW you get. That could be cool. So yeah, that's kind of my take on what director's going to look like. I think there's going to be cooldowns and like it's going to be fair. So if you guys are skeptical about like I don't want somebody being in control of my match, that's going to make the game more engaging personally, because every single match you don't know what's going to happen next, because that is at the disposal of the person that is around you. And if there's some slight randomizations with like where items spawn and stuff like that, it's going to be a completely unique experience regardless. And long cooldown, if you use it, whatever they do, I'll buy it to support Capcom. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna. I'm in the same boat. Unless, like I said, unless they hook me up, you know, being a full-time streamer, you know, probably not gonna happen. But speaking of full-time streamer, by the way, you guys, it is September. If you guys have always wanted to support my channel, it is now half off for new subscriptions. And if you've been gifted a subscription, it's now half off to continue your subscription. So just throwing that out there. If you guys are considering the sub. That's going on until I think it's like the 26th.
Is that voice Enrico's?
Which is hilarious, by the way. Hey, yeah. Flex with the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't sub, no worries. Just letting you guys know that new subscriptions are half off right now. So appreciate your content as always, and I appreciate you, Sir Flex. But yeah, so I would say don't support it if it's bad. Sales determine what future content they put out. Well, keep in mind too, though, that to some extent, yes, but I think that it's more than just sales. Like, I think if there's a large enough gathering of people, then it makes sense. But here's the thing: I think it's gonna be cool. So I'm gonna buy it for the sake of checking it out. And being somebody that my primary form of content is in the way of playing Resident Evil games, I have no choice but to buy it because that's what my content is. But even then, like I said, I mean, it's not all about that, but like reviews usually speak like, because here's the thing: if you buy it to support Capcom, but then you write a bad review on it, and then that ultimately results in 5 people not buying it, you know what I mean? Like that speaks more. It's not just the money; it's actually you might spend the money because you want to support Capcom, but then if you don't like it, people that don't support Capcom but they're interested in the game, you can then turn them on. There's a lot of power in that context, but I think it's going to be pretty good. Hey, what's up, Carter? But yeah, so that's kind of the angle that I'm looking at and what that looks like going back to like the playing director type situation. I think it's going to be pretty fair. Who's messaging me? My brother just texted me. He's like, what did you think of the teaser? My brother and I are huge Resident Evil fans. But yeah, so I think from the director standpoint, that's the gameplay. I think from a survivor standpoint, it's going to be Outbreak. Like, you're going to... I think it would be cool if you started in a different area than everybody else and then you had to, like, find each other. But if the story doesn't, like, cause like I said, I think there's going to be probably 4 or 5 different scenarios that you can play. So if the context of the story in the scenario doesn't allow that, that makes sense. But I think it would be cool if you all started separately and then you had to, first off, find each other. Second off, scavenge for resources. I think it's just going to be, it's going to be one of those things that the more horror elements become a part of this, and factoring that in with the unpredictability of the director, I think it's going to be sweet. First time we've had melee weapons apart from knife and Resident Evil for a long time. Yeah, it has been a while. So, but yeah, I think from a survivor standpoint, I think it's going to play very much like Outbreak. I think that you're going to craft weapons. I think that each character is going to have their own special abilities. So like you're going to have kind of like that strategic element that, okay, well, if I'm playing Discount David, who's going to be good at XYZ, then you play Discount Yoko, who's going to be good at, like, this is going to be a fun game to play with friends. Like, and regardless of how bad the game is to play by itself, it's going to be fun to play with games for sure. And I'm down to play with all of y'all for sure. But yeah, my brother's like texting me about it because that's how he rolls. But how cool would it be if new games allowed multi-monitor support? I think playing Umbrella Rep and having your security screen spaced out across your monitors, that would be dope, dude. That would be dope. I think what would be sweet is if you could do, like, if there's an option to, like, you could click on something in game that would then open a sub window. Like, you would have to make it modular, otherwise it wouldn't work, because the game, it shouldn't be the game's job to determine how many monitors you have. But that would be fucking dope, dude. That would actually be super badass. Like, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 monitors. So if I had the ability, well, 4 if you include my laptop monitor. But if I used all 3 of these monitors for the game, it'd be dope if I could put like 4 screens. Like, I would have my main game window in the gaming monitor. If I could put like a security camera snapped like 4 different screens per monitor, dude, that would be dope. That'd be super badass. That's a really good idea. But yeah, so let's watch it one more time, and then I gotta get ready for work. The shotgun racking thing is too funny. Could just be ejecting shells, yeah. Careful, zombie. She's got a stick. Yeah, it's on the RE engine. And it's gonna be on a lot of platforms too. Look at this. PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One, Xbox One X, Steam. I mean, there's a ton. I mean, it's going to be on all the main platforms. I think it would be badass, though, if they made it crossplay. That would be so cool. If they did crossplay, because keep in mind, RENet is a thing. It's been around for years and been not utilized. They could, if you had an RENet account, they could do crossplay. If everybody, so if whether you're a PS4 user, Xbox One, or PC player, if you make an account on RENet and you have a username through RENet, you could use that user ID to enable crossplay. 100%. I think it would be super, super cool to see crossplay on this game. PC players would have an advantage as usual if cross-playing with console. Perhaps, but keep in mind that mouse and keyboard is supported by Xbox and PlayStation now, so they could absolutely enable mouse and keyboard support and eliminate most of that. You wouldn't get as high a frame rate, but you could still use a mouse and keyboard if you wanted to. So, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Third-person game like that are usually better on pad anyway. Not necessarily. I mean, I think sometimes it's more comfortable to play, but I would definitely be playing it on PC, and I would definitely be playing it with mouse and keyboard. Forgot about that. Knife FPS memes would need to be fixed. Agreed. Yes, they would 100% need to be fixed. I'm sure that there are enough people at Capcom that have seen speedrunners meme on this game that I'm sure that they know about that. They do crossplay through RENet. Would they need permission from Sony Microsoft? I don't believe so, because Rocket League has been crossplay for a very, very, very long time, and it's entirely based on your username in the game, pretty much. Well, username, no. With crossplay on Rocket League, you make a room, and there's an ID associated. It's all based on ID and whether that ID can be read by the other platforms, and then, of course, to have those servers connected to each other. On Rocket League, when you make a, server with friends, that server's ID is tethered to the other platform. So I mean, they may need permission from Microsoft and Sony, but Rocket League is a great game that's been crossplay for a very long time, and Sony and Microsoft are all, from what I understand, all cool with it. Especially consider that Rocket League is a Game Pass title too. So if you have Game Pass, you get that as just part of being a subscriber to Game Pass. Is this going to be like Survive for a period of time, or just kill all enemies and win? I think it's going to be like Outbreak, where you progress through a scenario. That's my guess. If I had to guess, it's going to be like that. So the director will have cooldowns on all of their abilities. So if they spawn a bunch of lickers on you, they're going to have to wait 5 or 10 minutes to do it again. It's going to be a lot like that. If I had to speculate, like I said, we only have this trailer, so everything that I'm saying is purely speculation. Outbreak was like that? No, not really. There was some RNG with Outbreak, but not really. But that's where it does kind of simulate Left 4 Dead a little bit.
Hazeblade.
Vinx, thank you for the follow.
You're pretty good.
Left 4 Dead was kind of like that though. There was a director in Left 4 Dead, but it was exclusively controlled by AI. Did I miss the trailer? Yeah. All right. Well, all right. For those of you guys that missed the trailer, we're gonna watch it one more time, and then I have to go to work. What's up, Kibosh? Watch it one more time. Even the music sounds like Outbreak. I just love that this dude just beats the fuck out of him with a bat. And that's it.